Ready? Here we go. Welcome back to Freeman's Garage. It's 18 below zero. We're up by the Canadian border. I swear I can, if it was dark, I could see the lights of Winnipeg right over yonder. Outside there's a 1967 big block Mercury Monterey buried in snow. It was abandoned in 1989. We're gonna see if we can get it running. Did I mention there's a blizzard outside? We're gonna wait for things to calm down a little bit before we go out there. It is not safe at all. Well, actually, let's just mosey on out there and take a look at the car. I can't even see the car. I have no idea where it is. We're up to our knees in snow. Maybe the closer we get, we'll start seeing the shape of the car. I know it's somewhere around here. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get across this drift. This drift is up to my waist or higher. Okay, I think I see the car. Does that look like a 67 Mercury? Right side of my face is frozen solid, and that drift is my waist. I'm not going to make it out there right now. I got to go back in this building and try to thaw my face out. There's no heat there. Nice big wheels. Can't feel my face. It's about a week later. The storm has passed. The snowflakes have settled. Let's attempt once again our walk across Antarctica. That's pretty much what this is. It's pretty much the same as Antarctica. It's colder than Antarctica, I can tell you that. Mother Nature left us with this really cool windswept canyon. We could go down a geological rabbit hole if we wanted. Alright, we're back at the wagon wheels. This is going to be a doozy. Well, there it is, the 67 big block 390 Mercury Monterey. Just a couple more drifts to get through. Bigger job than I thought. It's really buried in here. Mercury made the Monterey for 22 years, from 1952 to 1974. Our 67 here is the 7th generation, which is 1965 to 1968. Now there was some sort of comeback with the name around 2004, I think, but that's that fancy computer modern stuff that we're not that your snowshoes on, right? Because I'm going to give you a top flight tour of this car. Maybe not the interior. Oh, we got bunny rabbit tracks. No? I guess they got a real nice home in here. Hopefully they don't completely eat the seats. This big old girl is a full-size car. And after 1974, Mercury's full-size lineup pretty much went down to the Colony Park station wagon and the Marquis. So for 68, the rear slant breezeway window was discontinued, but you could get an optional retractable rear window in this car. And this is the two-door hardtop coupe edition. I think we found where our furry friends are getting in. Oh yeah, look at that. Let's just hope they're not inside the car. Can't escape nature. I just walked on level ground onto the front bumper of this 40 Chevy. I just can't get over how cool this is. I'm standing on the back, well, basically on the trunk lid, but I'm not on the trunk lid. I'm standing on the snow in between the Mercury and this International right here. Found the window. Think I fell into the rabbit's den. Good thing I used to be a gymnast. All right. Might not be able to get out. Yep. That is cool. Oh, I see ripped out seat foam and mouse poop. Dang it! Look at how deep the hole my leg went into is. This thing right here is 2 feet. Look at that. That's at least 3 feet deep. I'm gonna put your face right up to the glass. It looks like this is a really nice car inside. So let's get the hood open and see if we can't fire this big block up. If there is actually a big block in there. Let's find out. If you're an astute observer, you might note that this is kind of a Lincoln-esque looking grill here. The middle portion's missing. Boy, it's really frozen in here. Froze out. How could that be? Tell you what, my face is really warm down in that grill. blocked out from the wind. I can see why a rabbit would want to live under this car. Mercury's make nice homes. So what's going on here is the snow blew all the way up in there. So the lock mechanism and everything is all frozen and solid. I think it's time for a shovel and tools, which I didn't bring with us, so time to burn some more calories. It's gonna be worth it though to hear this thing fire up, hopefully. I just grabbed a variety pack. You never know. And at some point here, I'm going to have to carry a battery through that. I didn't think about the battery part. That's going to be a fun one. Good exercise. Fell back in the rabbit's den. Don't worry, I'm being very careful not to disturb the patina with this shovel. I'm just pretty sure there's not an award-winning paint job under here. So I think we'll be okay. We gotta get the ice off anyways, or it's never gonna open. Unless you want to wait till spring to see this car. It'll probably help to shed some of this weight too. You know that Clint Eastwood movie where they find themselves at the cemetery and they dig up that grave? I feel like I'm in that moment right now. Blondie! There we go. There we go. This is what we're after. Ready? Here we go. Whoa! It's a big block Mercury. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to get it running, but we're gonna try. Boy, that snow really gets in these engine compartments. Not expecting that. You can only get big blocks in this car, and the 390 FE was the base engine. FE stands for Ford Edsel. It's basically a bored and stroked version of the 352. And in fact, if it is a 390, it'll have a 352 stamped on the block. I don't know if we're gonna find that today. Maybe. Oh, windshield washer fluid jug. I hope there's not a home in the air cleaner. If there is, that's what do they say in golf? Par for the course for the parfait, peanut butter parfait, Dairy Queen. Ford made this engine between 1961 and 1976. And in 67 and 69, she put out about 270 horsepower, and I believe about 400 foot-pounds of torque. As far as transmission goes, my guess is that there is most likely a C6 bolted behind this engine. There's a couple questions a guy quite often finds himself asking himself. What am I doing here? And where do I start? Well, I guess he asked himself how he gets out of here quite often as well. But quite frankly, I'm loving every minute of it. Come here, Cowboy. I mean, how often do you get to do this? Ooh, factory decal on the inner fender well. This looks like the ground cable for the battery. Found the battery tray. And just if we could find the positive cable. If there's one on here. Ooh, powered by Ford. Right there on the valve cover. Did I own this car a long time ago and forgot I ever owned it? Somebody did exactly what I would do. Make some sort of a wire like this to jump something. Oh, we got just about all the wires and cables we need. The starter solenoid is missing. Found the dipstick for the transmission though. It's good to know that's in there. Me and the previous owner must be related because he prefers bungee cord battery tie downs as well. Drop my pry bar down in here, and now I can't get it out. I'd really like to get it out because it was my grandpa's. It's got his initials etched into it, and I don't want to wait till spring to find it when the snow melts. Come on. Get out of there. So close. Well, you know what? Maybe you could come out the way you went in. Ugh. Got it. All right, so here's the situation. First off, my hands and my feet are actually warm, even though it's whatever it is below zero. Those hot hands things for your hands and for your boots work amazing, lifesavers. But we're losing daylight. We don't have a starter solenoid. It could be in the car, it could be in the trunk. I don't know if we're getting in there today, but you know, somewhere out there right now is a Marine sleeping in a foxhole, or a sailor sleeping in a coffin in the berthing on a ship. What I'm saying is there's a lot of people out there right now facing an even tougher challenge than this, and we're having fun anyways. So we're gonna enjoy this race against time. Let's dig some more snow out from around the engine so we can find the dipstick and check the oil. See if there's a fan and a belt and all that kind of stuff, or even a starter actually bolted to this thing. We'll find out if the engine's free or if it's stuck, or maybe we'll just go right to finding a solution for no starter solenoid, bypass all that and see if it cranks over. Now maybe we'll even just connect the cables not knowing if they're even connected to a starter down there. And this wire we found, well, if it's, yeah, looks like it's long enough. We could use this to jump from the battery to the hot side of the coil for some ignition. Even though my hands and feet are doing fine with the hot hands, my face is a little frozen, so I think before we go any further with this car, let's heat things up a little bit around here. If I can make it to my wood pile, that is. If I remember, it's somewhere over there by that bunk bed frame. My dad had marked this can bad, so that's why I poured it on here, and it's frozen and yellow. It doesn't burn very well. This can here is kind of a mystery. Let's see what this does. Now that's bluish green. I'm assuming this county is not in a burn ban. Put another log on the, cook me up some bacon. Found the cord for the engine block heater. If you know what a block heater is, put that down in the suggestion box. Curious if you even know what that is. Might as well check the little power steering fluid. Yeah, okay. That's checked. Good to go. Got all the belts on here. The fan is here. Radiator and cap. Some coolant in there. Looks like she definitely needs a flush. Not worried about that. And we're not worried about the transmission. Oh, there's the engine dipstick. Finally uncovered that. Nice and black. Just the color that oil's supposed to be. And it was between the hash marks. So that's a good sign that if this engine runs, it's probably not a smoker or a big leaker. Let's put our mitts on that fan and see if we can't get the engine to turn over by hand. And if it does, then we'll work on figuring out how we're gonna overcome not having a starter solenoid. I think it turned over. Just see the crank pulley. Yeah, she turned over. That's good news. Now normally I would like to pull all the spark plugs as well and take a peek in the cylinders. But with how easy she turned over, I say we just figure out a way to get some juice to that starter, if there is a starter. because we can't see it. So if there is a starter down in there, I got a pretty good idea to try to get power down there. Let me catch my breath. I just noticed something coming back up with the battery. That's a North Dakota Centennial plate, which was issued in 1989. And it's got a 9 of 92 tag on it. So who knows what somebody might have done with this car as far as wiring goes, but I want to take this huge deep cycle battery, we'll put it in here, and we'll hook up this negative ground cable to the battery, and then we will take this cable, which should be connected to the starter down there, and we're going to connect that to one of these cool posts that this battery has. And when we make those connections, the starter might turn over, might spin. And we're going to try it that way because the starter solenoid, which is supposed to be kind of like the liaison between the battery and the starter on a Ford, as we discovered earlier, it's gone. So hopefully this bypasses it. Negative cable is long enough. The one that we're going to run to the starter might not be. Alright, well let's see if this battery can fit in here. Alright. Okay, that's good. Now hopefully this fits on to the little post. Fits perfect. Time for a little test. Turned over. It was sparking like a madhouse to the point where we were going to abort. Looked like maybe we were going to start a fire, but it turned over and chopped through the snow. We'll test it again. That might be fast enough to fire. Let's see if we can't get it to fire off. We need power to the coil. We're about to find out if there's a carburetor under here. Might be a nest in here too. No, there's nothing living in here. It's clean. Cobweb. Looks pretty clean in there. lot worse. Now we got a coil here. All the plugs and plug wires are in, it looks like it. Carburetor doesn't look too filthy. But do we have throttle of any kind? Oh yeah. And the crazy thing is this wire we found. This looks like it'll fit on that positive little stubby sticking up on the battery. And then we'll just strip this end clean, stick it on the positive side of the coil, and whammo, we would have a running engine. Oh no! No! Oh no! There's no coil wire. This red wire is only going to get us power from the battery to the coil, but then it's got to go from the coil to the distributor so that the spark can be distributed out to all 8 spark plugs. But that wire that plugs into the coil right there and then connects to the top of the distributor cap is gone, which is really bad. But it's actually kind of good news, because without a coil wire, you're not starting the thing. So one of the previous owners, whoever put it out to pasture or in long-term parking, they must have yanked that off and took it in the house with them, because it's probably a complete running, driving car and they didn't want it to disappear. Taking the coil wire is one of the oldest tricks in the book. Or it's in the glove box or the trunk, but you want to come help shovel? Hoping I brought a small enough screwdriver or something we can stick into the terminals on the distributor and the coil and clean out the snow. Yeah. Here's one. Do you ever just hear Gordon Lightfoot songs just start playing in your head? We'll put that right there so it disappears and we never find it again. No guarantee that this coil wire is going to work on here. Seems to fit okay. We're getting real close now to putting some spark in these cylinders. We just got to figure out which post on the coil here is the positive. Okay, Ford's labeled this one battery. Reach into my 1970s snowsuit pocket. Really hope we don't run out of light. Feels like it's getting colder out here too. The pressure is on. We're gonna lose the shock! Don't want to let her get that little piece in my pocket. And this too. Otherwise, we'll just lose it in the snow and we'll have to wait till spring to get it back. Yep. Actually, I think we need a little bit more bare wire here. Yeah, we'll just give ourselves a good amount, because we're not gonna crimp a terminal on here, because I think I'd have to go in the barn and find a nut. Yeah, that's just not happening right now. Okay, well now I'm just making a mess here, so we'll just start over. Come on. Why you have to be so difficult? It's a little cold out here. We gotta kick that fire back up. We need to stoke that thing. There we go. Alright. Losing daylight, getting colder. Stomach's growling. Gotta love it. Absolutely worth it for the fun and to save this history. It's a very good chance, if things go well here, that over the course of the next several months, through the winter, into the spring, and through the summer, this car is going to get complete detail inside and out. If it needs a transmission, it'll get one. It's going to go on some big road trips. I mean, come on. 1967 Mercury Monterey 390 Ford Edsel Big Block. Come on, son. So we're just going with the basic wraparound trick there with the wire. Not expecting the best results, but hopefully we can get this thing to pop off. I mean, you know, the exhaust, if there is any on it, you know it's basically underground, so I mean, it would possibly just choke itself out. So let's just see if we can get her to fire off. Let's do it. We'll put some fresh gas down the carburetor. I don't want to put that, whatever we put on the fire, I don't want to put in here. That was probably too much. Or maybe it's not enough. Alright, let's find out. Are we ready? Now I would get out of the way at the front of this vehicle, but I don't think it's going to go very far. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Come on. No, it's not doing anything. Uh-oh, what did we do? Alright, I'm gonna warm up for a quick second. And then I'm gonna march through Antarctica again and grab another deep cycle battery that might be fully charged. I just think we need a little bit more juice. You know what I mean? A little bit more battery power. This hole's a good 3 feet deep. This is where I get to make a decision. Do I carry this giant battery all the way back to the barn and then carry the other battery out here? And then when we're all done, I only got one battery to take back? Or do I be lazy and just leave this one here, go get the other one, and then when we're all done here, I have to carry 2 in a row? People aren't lazy around here. crescent wrench is frozen. It's pretty tight to turn. Get a little tighter connection this time too. Not much we're gonna do about the other end of this wire, but all right. Huh? What? I did? Oh. Thank you, I didn't know I left that. We'll do a little more fresh gas. Why not? Oh yeah. Crank that up. Is it gonna run for the first time since the Macarena came out? I don't think there's any spark. Well, we're getting spark all over here, but not with the ignition. Not getting the old sparkerino at the plugarinos. That's what it sounds like to me, because it didn't even try. Well, let's take a look at the ignition points underneath the distributor cap. Now, I can tell you one thing that's going on here is the distributor is in the wrong spot. Typically, it's supposed... I'm just kidding. I was going to make a Ford and Chevy joke, but I like them all. Thank you for popping off quickly, because I would like to get my glove back on. Temperature keeps dropping out here. Fire's dying too. Thank you, Made in USA screwdriver. Now, well, I'll probably need my glove off to do this. Alright, let's just get rid of that. Well, that might be part of our problem. There's basically nothing left of these ignition points. Which, I mean, it should run, but they're fuzzed over from sitting. They need a good little scraping. That could be all it needs to fire up. I mean, you remember how we got the 62 Rambler running after that sat for 47 years. Well, let's just see if those points are sparking when we turn her over. There's no way you're going to be able to see it on camera right now, but basically I want to find out that the power's coming from this wire we hooked up to the battery. It's getting through our janky connection, through here, out the other post, and then into the distributor and across the points, and then out to the plugs. So we'll see if we get any sparklage in here. 3, 2, 1, and contact. Nothing's happening. It's the exact same thing that happened with the other battery. What's going on with that? All right, stand by. Just hope it's still long enough after I cut it. And I accidentally yanked the other end out. Hopefully we can get that back in. a doozy. This cable's not looking too good. Let's see what happens. Completely ran out of time on this. I have to be on the plane to go back to Texas and make sure my house hasn't burnt down, and I have to go see family one more time before I get on that plane. This 67 Mercury teamed up with Mother Nature is a very brutal force. They may have won the battle, but they have not won the war. Mark my words, we will be back up here in the frozen tundra before everything melts, and we will get this running right here in this frozen grave. Subscribe! I mean, you might as well subscribe to Freeman's Garage. It's free, helps me out, lets me know you like seeing this stuff. You are one of the only reasons why I make these videos. We'll see you next time. You're going down carburetor.